One is RW's Out of Town, or Rick Heitman for Vincent Gomez, the owner. 2 is Well Ain't That Nice, owned by James Wilson and William Murphy. Sandy Beatty drives. 3 is Reed Racing's Magic Silk. Dean Collins up. 4, Call Me Leonard, owned by Laverne Gales II, Dave Hawk. 5, Roy Biv G, owned by Jack Runyon, Roy Cole, Jeff Fout. 6, Farbred is owned by Nancy Perry with Dan Noble. 7 is Big OJ, owned by Joseph Chamier, Brad Miller up. 8, Deadly Dynamite, owned by Major Harness Stables, Tom Luther. Post time 6 minutes. They're in the backstretch, and there they go. They're off. Slow start for the 8, Deadly Dynamite. Moving on for the lead, it's Magic Silk, joined by RW's Out of Towner on the inside. That pair sprints off by 3 lengths as they enter the turn. Well Ain't That Nice comes away in the 3rd spot. Parked out in 4th is Call Me Leonard, followed in 5th by Roy Biv G. Then it's Farbred, Big OJ, and Deadly Dynamite trails the field as RW's Out of Towner outpaces Magic Silk and forces him to take a seat. Followed by Call Me Leonard, who lands an opening in 3rd, followed by Well Ain't That Nice 4th. And then we get Roy Biv G, Farbred, Big OJ, and Deadly Dynamite. 28-2 for the first quarter as they move single file in front of the grandstand for the first time. It's RW's Out of Towner and Rick Heitman carving it out, leading the way by a length and a half. Pocketed second is Magic Silk, followed by Call Me Leonard, who is now moving up first over, providing cover to Well Ain't That Nice. And then we get Roy Biv G, Farbred outside of Big OJ. In the trailer is Deadly Dynamite. They're half-mile pole bound. It's RW's Out of Towner leading the way. RW's Out of Towner reaches the half in 58 4/5. RW's Out of Towner by just over 1 length. Call Me Leonard is first over, gaining ground into 2nd position. Magic Silk is back to 3rd, brought along with cover. Well Ain't That Nice comes into contention in 4th. Trapped in at the pylons, Big OJ is 5th. Rallying 3 wide is Farbred from 6th, followed by Roy Biv G. Deadly Dynamite is trailed throughout. 6 lengths cover them all as they head for 3 quarters. RW's Out of Towner leads by 1. Call Me Leonard trying to get into gear. Farbred continues to gain ground on the far outside, and Magic Silk is getting the perfect trip in the pocket. 128-2 midway through the far turn, and it's RW's Out of Towner who maintains a 1-length lead. Magic Silk trying to hold his ground, as is Call Me Leonard. Farbred could not sustain his bid as they straighten away. RW's Out of Towner under the whip. Magic Silk pacing along the inside second, followed by Call Me Leonard on the outside trying to reach. RW's Out of Towner, Call Me Leonard, RW's Out of Towner, Call Me Leonard gets up. Then it was RW's Out of Towner in a show photo between Magic Silk and Roy Biv G, 157 4. (4-1 exact to 1560. Try 4-1-3, 41-20 into the winner's circle. Call Me Leonard ekes out the win. Is 5th on the season for Laverne Gales II, the owner-trainer. Dave Hawk, the winning driver. Call Me Leonard's a 7-year-old dare. U2 gelding from Sailor's Image by Tarport Buck. 157 4. And tries. 1 is Enchanted Witchery, owned by Enchanted Willows Farm, the driver Jay Cross. To Rhinestone Ring and Bell, owned by William Heiser, he drives. 3, My Jewel is owned and driven by Gary DeBoard. 4, Mystical Overtones, owned and driven by Willard Miller. Armbro Willis, the 5, owned by Leighton and Smith, Jerry Roberts. 6, Novelty is owned in partnership by Jeffrey Cornett and James Conover, with Del S. Miller up. 7, Alfred Skirler's Checkmate Sabre, Tom Brinkerhoff. 8, Inquiring Joe, owned by Theodore Black, Brad Miller. And the 9, Little Joe, owned by Doug Parker and Harry Berger, Kane Kaufman. 7 minutes. Trotters are in the backstretch. Off stride the 3, My Jewel. It's going to be a slow start for the 9, Little Joe. They're off. And going on a break, the 5, Armbro Willis. Inquiring Joe from the outside, heading out to take command. Crosses over and opens up 2 lengths on Mystical Overtones from 2nd. Rhinestone Ring and Bell is in up close 3rd, length and a half back. And Novelty will tuck away in 4th, 5 lengths off the lead. Then we get Enchanted Witchery, followed by Checkmate Sabra. Next in line, it's Little Joe, who's 5 lengths clear of Armbro Willis, who's 5 lengths clear of My Jewel. Mystical Overtones misstep there. And all alone on the front end, it's Brad Miller with Inquiring Joe. The opening quarter goes in 29-1. 17-1 long shot. Inquiring Joe is fronting the field. The margin is 4 lengths. Rhinestone Ring and Bell is the closest pursuer. Now he draws a closer second as Inquiring Joe is settled down on the front end. Novelty's in the 3-hole, now edging to the outside, followed by Enchanted Witchery, who moves out to grab that cover. Third over is Little Joe outside of Mystical Overtones as they round the turn. Armbro Willis wants to get back into the action. He's 4th over and 5 lengths off the lead, followed by Checkmate Sabra and 2.5 lengths back to My Jewel. 101 and 4 for halftime. Out of the turn and down the backstretch, and Novelty blew right on by Inquiring Joe like he was standing still. He opens up 4 lengths. Enchanted Witchery is left uncovered as he moves into second position. Inquiring Joe comes under, urging along the pylons in third. Little Joe is racing on the outside in fourth. 3 deep in fifth is Armbro Willis. He's got 4 lengths to make up. Then 3 more to Rhinestone Ring and Bell. Mystical Overtones going better than him, followed by Checkmate Sovereign. My Jewel 3/4 up. 131 and 3 midway through the far turn, and Novelty leads the way by 2 lengths. Being chased by Enchanted Witchery in second, followed by Little Joe, who has improved into third. Armbro Willis is 4th, and Inquiring Joe drops away as they straighten away. It's Novelty by 3.5 lengths. Enchanted Witchery is under the whip chasing second. Little Joe's on the outside, but it's Novelty. Novelty wins it by 4. Tight photo for second. Can't split him, either Enchanted Witchery or Little Joe. (6-1 exact 1880, tries 619, 150-60, and 4-6 in the double, comes back 15-60. In the winner's circle, it's Novelty. It's his 4th win on the season for Jeffrey Cornett and James Conover, the owners of Lebanon. Jeff Cornett trains. Del S. Miller guides him to victory. He's a 4-year-old gelded son of High Noon Star from Novel Bug by Novel Laddie. 202 and 2 for Novelty. And tries. 1 is Meadowland Shuffle, owned by Eldon Combs, Jay Cross. 2 is Leonard Buckner's No Mistake. Tom Brinkerhoff is up. 3 Aztec Chief, owned by Steven Sitkoff, Don Feaster. 4 Tender B is owned by Robert Kent, Dan Noble. Good Going Sam, the 5, is owned by trainer Dale Horney, Jerry Roberts drives. 6 Pacific Cam is owned by June Baird with Dave Hawk. 7 Boomawaka Walk is owned by Peterson and Peterson. Jim Peterson drives. 8 Spur of Puppets owned by James Fry, Chad Clark. 9 Perfect Providers owned by Gary Reynolds. Dan Reynolds is at the line. 6 minutes. There they go. They're off. 5 of them away rather evenly. Quickest away is Pacific Cam from 5 deep, followed by No Mistake, who will come away in the pocket spot. Hung out in third is Good Going Sam. He'll look to tuck away just in front of Meadowland Shuffle. Then a break of 4 lengths farther back, and we get Aztec Chief, followed by Booma Waka Wak. And then on the outside, Tender B, who went off stride and caught his gate. And then we get Spur of Puppets and Perfect Provider trails the field as they roll by the opening quarter in 28 and 3. Passing the stands for the first time, and Dave Hawk has Pacific Cam putting up the numbers. The lead is 2 on Pocket Sitter, No Mistake in second. Good Going Sam with the pylon ride third. First up on the outside, Meadowland Shuffle making a move from 4th. That'll give cover to Tender B, who's been hung thus far in 5th position, followed by Aztec Chief inside, a Boomawaka Walk, Spur of Puppets, and Perfect Provider as they round the clubhouse turn on the way to the half-mile pole. Leading the way, it's Pacific Cam. Pacific Cam and Dave Hawk lead the way in 59 and 3. Out of the turn, Pacific Cam by 1 length, but here comes Meadowland Shuffle to size him up on the outside. A No Mistake along the inside is pocketed third, gap of 2. Good Going Sam follows through from 4th. Tender B is laboring on the outside after some trouble in 5th, followed by Aztec Chief with nowhere to go in 6th. Spur of Puppets comes under urging in 7th as he tries to rally around Tender B. And then we get Perfect Provider and Boomawaka Walk 3/4. 129 and 1. Midway around around the far turn, and Pacific Cam continues to show the way. He took mild pressure from Meadowland Shuffle, who could not go on. No Mistake pops out of the pocket, followed by Good Going Sam, and then we get Tender Bee and Spur of Puppets as the field straightens away, and No Mistake comes after Pacific Cam. Late kick, Good Going Sam. No Mistake takes the lead, then Pacific Cam and Good Going Sam. No Mistake in front. Making his way back to the winner's circle is No Mistake, a 3-year-old son of Noble and Sam from Misperception by Incredible Neville. Owned by Leonard Buckner and driven to victory by his trainer, Tom Brinkerhoff. First career victory for No Mistake, 159-1. Here the trotters for the fourth race, Exactus tries and pick threes. One is Miracle Sabra by Lehman, Winsky, Donovan, and Arledge, Del S. Miller. To Just a Chip owned by Homestock Farm, Al Jones. 3 Ramblin' Wiley owned by Robert Kaufman, Terry Holton. King of Thieves, the 4 owned by Danny Perdue and Michael Bardo, Dave Hawk. 5 is the Philly Striking Valentine owned by William Robinson and Dave Klotz, Jeff out. 6 is Melby Ober's Mia Rebo and Kyle Eder. 7 Scoring Glass owned by Kelly and Roberts, Jerry Roberts. 8 Keystone Spark owned by John Howard, Brad Miller. 6 minutes. Trotters are lined up in the backstretch, and they are nearing the start. They're off. Bit of a slow beginning for Miracle Sabra. Stepping out from the center, there goes the Philly Striking Valentine. She's challenged early by King of Thieves, who looks to relent and settle away in the pocket spot. Mia Rebo settles away in the third spot, 2.5 lengths back. Keystone Spark outside of Just a Chip. They're 4th and 5th, 7 off the lead. Then 3 more to Scoring Last, followed by Miracle Sabra. And 15 lengths back to Ramblin' Wiley, who is gradually catching the field, stepping on by the opening quarter. Striking Valentine in 29 and 4, passing the stands for the first time, and it's Striking Valentine with the lead of 1.25 lengths, followed by King of Thieves in second. Then we get Just a Chip on the outside, who is now off stride, and Miracle Sabra is making his bid for the lead, circling around the runner Just a Chip, followed by Mia Rebo. Keystone Spark is able to get out of the way of Just a Chip. Then it's Scoring Last near the back of the pack, and the distant trailer remains Ramblin' Wiley as they round the clubhouse turn, and breezing to command, it's Miracle Sabra, quickly opening up 2 lengths in 1 minute and 2. Out of the turn and trotting down the backstretch, it is Miracle Sabra, and now by 2 lengths. Along the inside, Striking Valentine is back to second, gap out to King of Thieves is third, and Scoring Last on a steady gain from the outside, ranging up from fourth. Mia Rebo, a jammed up fifth, then 4 lengths back to Just a Chip, 5 more to Keystone Spark, and much farther back to Ramblin' Wiley as they move on to the far turn, with Miracle Sabra leading the way by just over 1 length and 1:30 and 3. Miracle Sabra by 1, Scoring Last on the outside into second. Striking Valentine is locked up in the box third. King of Thieves is second over in the thick of it fourth. Third back at the rail is Mia Rebo, followed by Just a Chip, who is sixth as the field straightens out and trots for home. It's Miracle Sabra by 1.25 lengths, Striking Valentine down the inside. Scoring Last trying to reach up on the outside, but Miracle Sabra has something in reserve, and he'll trot on home a 2-length winner. Scoring Last to go second, then it was Striking Valentine in 2 minutes even. Miracle Sabra's in the winner's circle, 2 minutes flat. It's his career best mile. He's owned by Lehman, Winsky, Donovan, and Arledge of Ohio and Massachusetts. Trained by Jim Arledge Jr., he's piloted to victory by Del S. Miller. Miracle Sabra's a 3-year-old striking Sabra colt from Sincere Sabra by Solid Sabra. 3 wins on the season. Here they are for the 5th. Exactas and Tries. One Hannah's Boy owned by Robert Bobo, Jeff Fowd. To First Time Adam, racing for Robert Cox. He's driven by Kyle Later. 3, My Wicked Willie, owned by Stanley Swango III, Dave Hawk. 4, Pocket Watch, owned by Gregory Knott, Kane Kaufman. 5's Rusty Lee's Look Chad and Dan Noble. 6, Vienna Spark, owned by CW and Anna Cromley, Jay Cross. 7, Born Pacing, owned by Bill Robinson, Brad Miller up. And the 8 is I'm a Pilgrim. Robert Reeser owns Trains and Drives. Post time for the 5th in 6 minutes. Lined up in the backstretch, ready for the start. There they go. There, a fast beginning for Hannah's Boy as expected. My Wicked Willie right there to the outside second, and Dave Hawk will drop him into the 2-hole. Gap of 2. First Time Adam is 3rd, followed by Pocket Watch 4th. Look Chad is 5th, and then we get Vienna Spark, I'm a Pilgrim, Born Pacing, trails the field 8th, and the field is covered by 16 lengths as they move midway around the far turn. The early pace setter is Hannah's Boy. The lead is 1.25 on My Wicked Willie, who is second by about the same. First Time Adam is racing in 3rd, in line from 4th. It's Pocket Watch through a quarter in 28 4/5. Along the pylons in 5th position, we get Look Chad, followed by Vienna Spark, and then it's I'm a Pilgrim, and Born Pacing is the trailer as Hannah's Boy is on an uncontested lead as he races into the clubhouse turn, enjoying it by 2 lengths. My Wicked Willie racing in 2nd, First Time Adam in the 3-hole, followed by Pocket Watch pondering a move. Then we come a length and a half farther back to the 5th spot, and that is Look Chad. Vienna Sparks up on the outside, 2.5 clear of I'm a Pilgrim. Born Pacing trails the field. 58 seconds flat for the half, out of the turn and down the backstretch. Hannah's Boy with the best of it by 2. Tracked by My Wicked Willie in 2nd. First Time Adam stays in 3rd, as does Pocket Watch from 4th. Roughing it on the rim, Vienna Spark is 5th, about 5 lengths off the lead. And then we get Look Chad, I'm a Pilgrim, going better than him, and 3 back to Born Pacing as they head on to the far turn. No challengers yet for Hannah's Boy. 127 2. Set sail for home with a 2-length lead. Along the inside, My Wicked Willie now called on for more in 2nd. First Time Adam is 3rd. Coming under the whip, it's Pocket Watch, who swings to the outside 4th. As the field straightens away, Hannah's Boy is the one to catch as they come down the lane. And My Wicked Willie springs the pocket to challenge in the final 16th, followed by First Time Adam in 3rd. Then it's Look Chad, and My Wicked Willie paces right on by Hannah's Boy and draws off to win it. Hannah's Boy to go 2nd. Up 3rd was I'm a Pilgrim, 156 2. My Wicked Willie getting back to winning ways for Stan Swango III. Jim Arledge, the winning trainer. Dave Hawk with another win tonight. My Wicked Willie's a 3-year-old Village Connection from Try My Design by chairman of the board. 3-1 exact and $9. Try 318, $50.60. One is Pine Bow, owned by Henry and Sally Jasevchik, Mark Evers. 2, Dr. Bauer, owned by Gary Reynolds. Dan Reynolds is up. 3, Super Bandits, owned by Jerry Folk and Connie Armstrong. Dan Noble. 4, CC Super Home is owned by Crowley, Anderson, and Anderson. Jay Cross. 5, Capricorn's Gal is owned by Fisher and Mitchell. Del S. Miller drives. Post 6, It's So Striking, owned by Kramer, Reeser, and Minestrelli. Robert Reeser. And the 7 is Trojan Spark, racing for the Terry Guiana Estate. Brad Miller at the line, 6 minutes. There they go. They're off. Off stride goes the one. Pine Bow. Pine Bow is on a break. It's a fast start for CC Super Home. She's flashing good early speed as expected, and Trojan Spark is looping up on the outside to challenge for command. Dr. Bauer comes away a prominent third, a gap of 2 lengths. Super Band goes fourth by 3. Capricorn's Gal settles away off the tempo, 7 lengths off of it as she races in 5th position around the turn. Gap of 2 more to So Striking, and much further back to the breaker, Pine Bow, as they go by the opening quarter, and a Trojan Spark now takes over the lead in 28-1. Passing the stands, Trojan Spark is now setting the tempo by a length and a half. CC Super Home yields in second. Dr. Bauer third by 2. Super Bandit is next. And then we get Capricorn's Gal in line from 5th, 3 back. So Striking is 6th, and about 25 lengths back to Pine Bow as they move around the clubhouse turn, being led by Trojan Spark. Trojan Spark has the lead. It's just over 1 length from CC Super Home. Sitting in the garden spot second, Dr. Bauer is third, and Super Bandit will command the outer tier. He is first up on the outside through half in 58 2/5. Moving with live cover, Capricorn's Gal is now advancing on the rim from 5th, 2.5 more to So Striking, and much farther back to Pine Bow. 3/8 of a mile left to trot as they move midway through the backstretch, being led by Trojan Spark. Trojan Spark by a length and a quarter. First over on the outside, Super Bandit has made headway into second. CC Super Home remains in the pocket third, and Capricorn's Gal well placed second over on the outside. She's just 2.5 lengths off the lead, and she's already surging up 3 wide, followed by Dr. Bauer, and So Striking 1:28 3, moving around to the top of the stretch, and Trojan Spark on the inside leads narrowly, but Capricorn's Gal moves up 3 wide to take her on, and here comes Capricorn's Gal charging down the center to take over the lead. Trojan Spark could not go with her, followed by CC Super Home. Super Bandit, they kick So Striking, but it's Capricorn's Gal winning impressively. Finishing second with So Striking, show photo between CC Super Home and Super Bandit. Three of 3 in the pick, 3:30.80. Buy 6 exact at $20. Try 5, 6, 4, 76.60. Another nice win for Capricorn's Gal. It's her 5th and 12 starts in the season, 157 3 for the partnership of Fisher and Mitchell of Ohio. She's a 4-year-old daughter of Inquirer from This Gal's OK by OK Dick. Dallas Miller drives her to victory. It's a double for him. She's trained by David Mitchell. Exactus tries and pick 3s. One is Here Comes Don, owned by W.E. Meadows, Andy Shetler. To Nuclear Style, owned by George Conklin Jr., Dallas Miller drives. 3 Forever and Ever is owned by Stovall and Feaster, Don Feaster. The 4 is Nick Kress, owned by the Kress Farms with Brett Miller. 5 Bachelor Prince is owned by Jackie and Sally Joe Richard, Dave Hawk. Western Kin from Post 6 from Mayhew and Tatman, Sean Mayhew. 7 is Salky's Trick, under lease to Jerry Palmer, Charlie Neff, and the 8 is Pedro Pete, owned by Doug Hunt with Dan Noble. 7 minutes. Line up in the backstretch, and there they go. They're off, all the way to a good beginning. Here comes Don from the inside, tries for the early lead. Western Kin with speed from the outside, followed by Forever and Ever. Then it's Bachelor Prince and Sulky's Trick making up the top flight. It's a gap of 3 lengths farther back to the trio of trailers, Nuclear Style, Nick Kress, and Pedro Pete. As they move to head stretch for the first time, on top of the field, it's Here Comes Don, leading it by 2 lengths. Forever and Ever is racing in second, followed by Bachelor Prince, Sulky's Trick, Western Kin relegated to 5th as they go by the first quarter in a quick 27 3/5. Leading the parade in front of the stands, it's 4-5 favorite. Here Comes Don, and Andy Shetler showing it by 2. From Pocket Sitter, Forever and Ever racing in second, followed by Bachelor Prince, a snug third. Next in line, Sulky's Trick is racing in 4th. First to pull, Western Kin going up uncovered on the outside 5th. Nuclear Style will be brought along second over in 6th position, followed by Nick Kress and Pedro Pete. They reach the half in 57 2. Rounding the turn into the backstretch, and it's Here Comes Don in control here, leading it by 2 lengths. Forever and Ever is second by the same, followed by Bachelor Prince in third by 2. Western Kin parked out in fourth. He's got 5 to make up. He's going to have to do better. Then we get Sulky's Trick inside of Nuclear Style. Pedro Pete is launching a bid 3 wide. He's gaining ground 7 lengths out of it and trailing the field at the tail end. That is Nick Kress, 127 and 2. Midway around the far turn, and here comes Don trying to take him wire to wire. Leads by a length and a half. Forever and Ever is racing in second. Pedro Pete from last has improved into third. He's only 2.5 lengths off the lead as the field straightens away. It's Here Comes Don leading the way, but there goes Pedro Pete on the outside. Pedro Pete surging on by. Here Comes Don and drawing away. It's Pedro Pete from last to first. Here Comes Don and Forever and Ever, 157 and 1. 8-1 exacta 41.80. Try 8-1-3 258.80. Heading back to the winner's circle, Pedro Pete, a 4-year-old Look Sharp from the Nell Almahurst by Falcon Almahurst. Owned by Doug Hunt, the trainer of Troy, Ohio. Dan Noble drives him to victory. It's his 5th and 8 starts in the season. 157 and 1, by far a career best. Fast, owned by Iris and Harry Horowitz, Jay Cross. To Dr. Casey Curry, owned by Bill Farris, Joe Adamski drives. From post 3, it's Gary Adams, Cobra Sabra, and Kane Kaufman. 4 is Collegiate Chip, owned by Golden Acres, Al Jones. 5, Beamer's Tailored Tea is owned by Brent Davis with Dave Hawk. 6, Tommy's Trombone is owned by Schoonover and Ledford, Dan Noble. Ralph Brumbaugh's Sturdy Faith is scoring from post 7. Jeff Fout is driving. And the 8 is Cyrano de Bergerac, owned by Linda Rankin, Dave Rankin. 7 minutes. In the backstretch and nearing the start, they're off on a break to 3, Cobra Sabra. Beamer's Tailored Tea with speed. Dr. Casey Curry from the inside is away quickly. Tommy's Trombone comes away in third, gap of 2 lengths. And Cyrano de Bergerac trotting on from the outside in 4th position, followed by Incredibly Fast in 5th. Collegiate Chip tucks away third last to Sturdy Faith, and Cobra Sabra back on gate and well in touch with the field trails as they swing into the lane for the first time. And Beamer's Tailored Tea leads it 28 and 3. Passing the stands, it's Beamer's Tailored Tea enjoying a 2-length command on Dr. Casey Curry in second. Tommy's Trombone is third, by 3.5 lengths. Cyrano de Bergerac in the big gap 4th, followed by Incredibly Fast. Jay Cross hustles him to the outside, and he looks to grab the cover of Cyrano de Bergerac. Yes, Cyrano de Bergerac gets flushed out first over. Third over is Collegiate Chip, followed by Sturdy Faith, and 2.5 lengths back to the trailer as they round the turn. That is Cobra Sabra. Wheeling by halftime, it's Beamer's Tailored Tea, putting up that number 58 and 4. A Beamer's Tailored Tea by a length and a half. Dr. Casey Curry racing in second. Cyrano de Bergerac trying to inch his way up on the outside third as Beamer's Tailored Tea puts it in another gear and opens up 2.5 lengths. Tommy's Trombone is hemmed in 4th. Incredibly Fast is forced to abandon cover. Now 3 wide on the outside 5th. Also trying to rally on the far outside is Collegiate Chip, followed by Sturdy Faith, and 3 lengths back to Cobra Sabra. They go by 3/4. It's Beamer's Tailored Tea in 128 and 4. Moving around the far turn, and the classy veteran Beamer's Tailored Tea leads it by 2.5 lengths. Dr. Casey Curry is second, followed by Tommy's Trombone. Incredibly Fast. Going off stride near the back of the pack was Collegiate Chip as they straighten out and drive for home. And Dave Hawk goes to work on Beamer's Tailored Tea. He leads it by 2 lengths. Dr. Casey Curry, Tommy's Trombone on the outside. Beamer's Tailored Tea full out. Tommy's Trombone on the outside. Beamer's Tailored Tea wins it. Tommy's Trombone was second. Dr. Casey Curry third. 158 and 4. 5-6 exacta $100.80. Try 5-6-2 $1,486.80. Heading back to the winner's circle for the 3rd time tonight, it's Dave Hawk. This time he scores with Brent Davis's Beamer's Tailored Tea, a 10-year-old Superman trotter from Tarport D by Tarport Devlin, winning his 5th of the season in 158 and 4. Sky Country owned by David Cooper with Jeff out. 2 Rover Relum owned by Edwin Ellis. Kane Kaufman is up. 3 Playing in the Shadow is owned by Levan and Levan, Brett Miller. Sky High Rebo is the 4. He's owned by Melby Ober and driven by Kyle Ader. 5 Captain Ubi owned by Donald Knight and Kay Hubner, Del S. Miller. 6 Gifted Jade is owned by Glenn and Norma Huber with Al Jones. 7 is Truly Cam Star owned by Schmitz and Schmitz, Dan Noble. 8 is Marguerite Mesra's Towner's Bell and Jay Cross. 9, He's Back, owned by Donald Williams, Dave Hawk. And the 10 is Tsunami, owned by Kenneth Briggs, Sandy Beatty. 6 minutes. Lined up in the backstretch. There they go. They're off. Slow beginning for the 2 Rover Relum. And Captain Hubie heading right to the front, opening up 2 lengths. And going on a nasty break there is the 4 Sky High Rebo. The 4 Sky High Rebo gets into a tangle with many of them in the backfield, including the 1 Big Sky Country. The 10 Tsunami also impeded the 2 Rover Relum as they move to the top of the stretch for the first time. And Del S. Miller leads the way with Captain Hubie as they wheel by that quarter station in 27 3 in front of the grandstand for the first time. And it's Captain Hubie by a length and a half. Riding the pocket is Gifted Jade in second. 2 Back Playing in the Shadow is third, followed by He's Back in the 4th spot. 2 more, and we get Truly Cam Star with the pylon trip in 5th, then 3 farther back. 2 Sky High Rebo, followed by Big Sky Country, and then 3 lengths back to the trio of Towner's Bell, Rover Relum, and Tsunami as they round the clubhouse turn on their way to the half-mile pole. It's Captain Hubie reaching that station in 57 2. Captain Hubie's cutting the mile. He has Gifted Jade on his heels. A length and a half more. Playing in the Shadow is along the inside in third. First up on the rim. He's Back, trying to get into gear. Comes under urging early. He's 3.5 off the lead and not responding to the whip. So Truly Cam Star will go 3 wide around him. Truly Cam Star is rallying from mid-pack. Then a gap of 3 lengths back to Big Sky Country. Towner's Bell going better than Sky High Rebo, and then it's Tsunami, and at the back of the pack, that is Rover Relum. 126 3 on around to the top of the stretch, and it's Captain Hubie leading it by 2.5 lengths. Gifted Jade is losing ground. Playing in the Shadow tries to come with a late bid, followed by Truly Cam Star, who has flattened out as they come down the stretch, and Captain Hubie tries to go wire to wire in here. Playing in the Shadow closing out in the center, followed by Gifted Jade and Truly Cam Star, but it's going to be Del S. Miller and Captain Hubie to win it. Getting up for second is Playing in the Shadow, followed by Gifted Jade and Truly Cam Star, 155 4. 670-280, Super 5367, 4,672.40. The late daily double, 5 and 5, comes back 71.40, and a pricey pick 3. If you had all 3 correct, you're awarded to the tune of $1,037.60. Into the winner's circle, it's Del S. Miller with a triple tonight. This time he scores on the front end with Captain Hubie. It's Captain Hubie's 3rd of the season, 155 4, pretty close to a lifetime best, though a little bit short for the 7-year-old gelded son of Captain Gates from Gagene by Ben Herhanover, owned by Donald Knight and Kay Hubner, and conditioned by Donald Knight.